So let's create a gem. Once you have a great idea for a gem, like a lesson plan creator or word problems that you want to create, whatever it might be, let's go about creating that gem. So I'm in Google Classroom, and you probably have noticed in Google Classroom that there is a Gemini tab available right here at the top. When you click that, it's going to bring you to kind of the teacher sort of Gemini tools that have been created. These ones here in the middle, they're fantastic. They work really well. But the issue with those is that they're sort of generic, and every time you start a new conversation, you would have to reload all of your stuff. Like, these are the standards I need you to follow. Gems get rid of that. You load everything you want into it, it remembers it, and every time you start a conversation with a gem, it knows exactly what you want. So you just have to take the time at the beginning to set it up precisely the way that you want it. So in order to create a new gem, you just scroll down to the bottom of this page, and in the middle here, it'll say create a gem. So click that. That'll bring you to the gem area. If you don't see a left-hand navigation, just click on the hamburger at the top and you'll see all of the things that you have done with the gems, that sort of thing. You can have that open or not, it's not super important. You will see as you build your gems that your gems will populate here in the middle of the page. As I scroll down, you'll see a shared with me area, which if you start using the gems that I've given you in Google Classroom, they'll start to appear here. And then you can then do things, personalize them and tweak them to make them work for you. I'll talk about that in the next video. So I'm going to go ahead and click this new gem button right here. And that will bring me to the place where I create a gem. It's a pretty simple interface. On the left-hand side of this screen, you have where you'll enter your information for the gem, and on the right-hand side is where you can preview it to see if it's working the way that you want, and very easy to go back and forth there and tweak it as you're creating it. So there's four things. There's name, so name of your gem. I'll just do sample gem for right now. And then description, this is what this gem does. I don't know why I have to say that out loud when I type it. But there you go. Obviously, yours will be tailored to what it is that you're doing. Keep in mind that all users, including those who don't have like editing access to the gem, will always see the name and description. Often what I'll do in the description is put in like how the user should start the conversation, because if you give these to students, for example, and they click it, the gem is just going to sit there. It doesn't like introduce itself or anything. But as soon as you type something in, it starts rolling. So you might want to type something in there like say hi to get started, or enter your grade level, or whatever it might be, and then the gem will get rolling from there. The real magic and the real work that goes into this is in this instructions area in the middle. So I'm actually going to come back to that at the end. The last one is the knowledge area, where you can upload files or add your things from Google Drive, like Google Docs and spreadsheets and things like that. You can upload PDFs, all that sort of stuff. I will tell you just a word of warning. If I scroll down at my left-hand side, you should see an area where there's a bunch of errors. Upload error, encountering error, error encountered. So what happened with the first gem I created, I was creating like a science tutor and using the like 300-page science document PDF from the Ohio website on all the standards K through 12. And when I started running the gem, it kept giving me errors, errors, errors. And so what ended up happening, and the cool thing was I was able to actually talk to the AI about it. I basically was saying, why are you giving errors? And at first it was like, I don't know, everything seems to be fine. And I was like, well, it's not fine. And finally, we were able to figure out that the PDF was not working because its file fetcher kept saying, I'm having trouble with my file fetcher. It can't access the PDF. And so I was like, is there anything wrong with the PDF? And it said, no, there's nothing wrong. For some reason, I just can't access it. So at that point, I said, well, if I delete it, actually, I think I asked it, if I delete this copy and upload a fresh one, will that work? And it said no, because there's nothing wrong with the PDF. I just can't access it the way I need to. So I said, well, if I delete it, can I just tell you that you should be using the Ohio Science Standards, grades K through 12? Is that sufficient? And it said, yes, I can access all the standards from the website. So that ended up working. The one thing I did, the one gem, if you play with the first grade word problem creator, I created a fake spreadsheet of students with their things that they liked and attached that spreadsheet to the knowledge area, and then the gem is pulling from that spreadsheet to say, oh, Maria likes hot dogs, so let me make a story problem about hot dogs, whatever it might be. So you can put stuff in there, just be aware that I had an issue, maybe you won't. All right, back to the important thing, the instructions area. This is where you put in all of the important information for your gem, and you'll basically follow at least a 3-step format. Number one is role. What what is the gem? What is their role? So that you would literally say something like, you are a highly trained third grade math teacher who is an expert at designing curriculum and lesson plans, for example. That would be the role. The next thing you put is, what is the task? What are you supposed to do? You are to create highly uh, interactive and skilled lesson plans with many differentiation strategies for a classroom of 25 third graders, whatever it might be. You define the task, and then the last thing you do is you put in the details of it. And that might be your standards, that might be the types of outputs you want. Like I want all questions to be extended response questions. That's where you put all the meat of what you want in. So that's role, task, and details. I follow a slightly different format when I create mine. It's just like 2 extra steps, and it's called the RODES format, RODES. R stands for role, O is for objective, which is just like task, D is for details, which is pretty much the same, and then there's 2 more. E is for examples, and S is for what they call sense check. Although if you go to different sites, they'll have a slightly different letter S word, but it's basically for the AI to constantly be checking that it's interpreting things correctly and working correctly. So you put that format in. So it's pretty expansive with them. So I'm just going to, oh, and I wouldn't type in this text box. I would create a Google Doc and do your typing there. So I'm going to go to the document where I have all of the different gem prompts that I've created. And as I scroll down, don't freak out. Okay, when you're looking at this, you might say, okay, I'm out. That's a lot of stuff right there. But here's the little trick for you. The first gem I created, I typed in everything and was tweaking it, all that sort of stuff, and it was fine. It worked great. It took me a little while, but it was fine. And then once I have it, I have it. That's great. But I ended up thinking, like, why am I typing this in? Let me let AI type this in. So I just opened another Gemini tab at gemini.google.com, and I just said, I need you to create a RODES framework for in this case, it was for a 6th grade English language arts teacher using 6th grade ELA standards for differentiating in lesson plans, or whatever it was, the prompt that I put in. So pretty much everything you're seeing on this page is created by AI. And then I just would tweak it. I would just go in and tweak it. Like a lot of times its output will be sure when you write the problem that you put the standard for there. And if I was showing that to a student, wouldn't want the student to see that. So I just go in and tweak that a little bit, check it for bias and accuracy, all that sort of stuff. But it really doesn't take much time. It's really, really very simple. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this first one here, which is one I've already created, but that's okay. And then I would just go in here and I would paste it in. Okay, and then I'm gonna click save on this sample gem. And then you can go ahead and start a chat. You've already been previewing it most likely before you finalized it. So I'll just type in hi, and whatever one, I think this was the differentiation one I put in, it's gonna prompt me now to go ahead and enter what I want. And again, I believe this was a teacher facing one. So this would be about creating lesson plans and things like that. So like, I need a fun lesson for 6th grade. Actually, I don't need to do that because I already said it's 6th grade. For, I think 6th grade is reading Claudette. No, that's not right. 6th grade is reading, hang on, I have my notes. Oh, they're reading Divine Loophole. So I need a fun lesson for Divine Loophole, Chapter 1. This will take a second, but it's gonna spit it out. And the key for this one was I set it up for differentiation, so it's going to end up giving me like, here's what you can do for struggling learners. Here's what you can do for learners that need enrichment. It's going to clarify what is my primary objective here. So I forgot I put I put that in there. I'll just do that. I'll say we're doing RL 6.1, whatever that means. I'm not an ELA teacher. And it's going to craft it and spit it out and everything. You don't have to wait and see that, but it's pretty cool. You can play with it yourself and do it yourself with it. But and again, I can just keep coming back to this gem and say, okay, now we're on chapter 2. Now we're on this, whatever it might be with it. So that is how you go ahead and create those. So I think I've gone over everything. There we go, right there. It's spitting it out. There you go. It's got all that cool stuff here for you. Everything is there within this one gem. All right, so I think that's it. You should know how to create a gem now and save it. The next video, and you're good now, you can probably go right from here, but next video I'll just talk about what you do with gems and what you should do with share gems and all that sort of stuff. So happy creating. Please let me know if you need any help. I'd be happy to create gems for you. I'm becoming really good at it. And if there, I'd love to see what you do. So please share things with me. I would love to see them and highlight what you guys are doing. So have a great day. Thanks so much.